Now, one thing is for certain when it comes to Meghan Markle is that she is best described as difficult to work with and by far one of the most insufferable personalities out there, because I don't really like to call her an actress in 2025. We all know that she's very untalented, not so creative, and very much incompetent when it comes to whatever she works on. That's why a lot of things related to her shows, related to Netflix specifically, have failed miserably. Shows like Polo, for example, nobody watched that, and nobody is going to watch With Love Meghan, except for the critics out there that want to discuss about exactly what went down with that actual show. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So, we all know one thing about Meghan Markle as well, is that she is contributing to a lot of issues internally over at Netflix HQ, between Greg Peters, the CEO, the many executives over there, and the board of directors, who, by the way, the majority of them are still on Meghan Markle's side. They are the ones that are running the show. They are the ones that are calling the shots. That's why Greg Peters, even the CEO, does not have all the say in the matter of all of these things going on with Love Meghan. Now, this is where things begin to really erupt, because we already know that as we approach that March 4th release date, there are only 2 test screenings left to actually debut within Netflix, so they can get a better idea of how this show is going to be perceived by the general public. So far, after multiple failed test screenings, it is not looking good for Netflix, and it's most certainly not looking good for both Meghan Markle and Mindy Kaling especially. So, what's really interesting about all of this is that on top of everything here, alright, with the Meghan Markle drama getting worse every single week over at Netflix, both internally and in the public eye, one major development that is now active involves Meghan Markle's recent rant after getting banned in a very unexpected way by the Netflix executives. And though the majority of the board of directors, like I said before, are still on Meghan Markle's side, the executives, the many producers over there, and CEO Greg Peters made a swift move to ban her not just from future test screenings, but also they removed her from observing the editing room and analyzing the marketing plans for the series With Love Meghan. Already, Meghan Markle recently went on an outrageous rant toward Greg Peters and the executives, where she blamed them for contributing to the creative issues for With Love Meghan. Multiple argumentative conversations were delivered and started by Meghan Markle, where she even labeled Greg Peters as the most incompetent CEO in the industry who doesn't believe in powerful female roles in film and television. These claims are ultimately what sparked another awkward situation at Netflix, where Meghan Markle was blaming the trailer's criticism from the public on decisions made by Greg Peters for using her worst takes in the trailer. To make matters worse, for Meghan's sake, is that she put herself in an even worse position after she ranted about the Netflix writers as creatively blocked and unprofessional for allowing Peters to get away with his plans for the series With Love Meghan. Not only that, but Markle also went on a tirade toward the many Netflix producers and executives for not allowing her to view the last 2 test screenings that are about to go for the show With Love Meghan, where she stated that excluding her from the test screening room is a major mistake and how it's going to contribute to the failure of the show, and is already blaming their decisions to boot her from the screening room as part of why the show is getting so much backlash, when in reality it all just has to do with the fact that it stars Meghan Markle doing unoriginal things on television. The drama escalated to a point where Greg Peters tried to actually demand the board of directors to immediately delay, get this, the show, to buy some time and to push the show until around May of this year. The board declined. So, one thing I gotta say about this, guys, before I move on, is that no matter how many times you try to delay this thing, no matter how many times you successfully delay it, it's not going to change anything about With Love Meghan. They already delayed it once. They're trying to delay it twice. They shot that plan down. I think Greg Peters knows exactly what's going to happen here. He knows that this show is so universally rejected, it is most likely going to be the worst Netflix show in history. And yes, quite literally, it's going to be the worst one, just because of the amount of dislikes we have seen across the board, across all forms of social media, and the comments, and how this is really going to be definitely a very big marketing campaign mistake by Netflix, and a ratings disaster at that. Already we know that this is projecting to be a ratings disaster where it might not even actually be seen by regular fans by Meghan Markle, because even they are abandoning ship. Even fans of Meghan Markle don't want to watch this dumpster fire, and this has a lot to do with the test screeners. Some of them were Meghan Markle fans, and even they believed that there are so many flaws in the show, labeling the series as inauthentic, poor line delivery, subpar acting, very lackluster writing and directing, and everything across for this actual show is flawed. And that's why all these test screenings are just going down in flames. It's not working at all. This reminds me exactly of what happened with Snow White 2025. Well over 8 test screenings failed, and this thing is supposed to drop on March 21st. So, I digress. Alright, let's get into this further. Now, they were in favor of Markle pushing to keep the March 4th release date, the board. Already the series is set to be one of Netflix's greatest failures, especially in 2025. Now, Meghan is demanding a second trailer, while Peters and the producers are refusing to release that second trailer. It's all edited together, but they don't want to release it. This is also causing Markle to name-call the overall producers for engaging in sexism and misogyny. Oh gee, how original, right? For not allowing her presence in the marketing campaign of the show. Now, Markle was already banned from doing press interviews for the show at the Oscars, the Academy Awards, right? After Netflix board members made at least one agreement, to at least refrain from letting her interview there. Markle in turn felt betrayed and even made comments about how the Netflix higher-ups, other words, the board, are difficult to work with sometimes. So it's kind of funny how she calls them difficult to work with, but first everyone called her difficult to work with. Now, I think it's very interesting also that you have Rachel within Netflix, who also is who is insufferable, just as Rachel Zegler within Disney. You know, we already know that there's a lot of things going on here with Meghan Markle. Alright, now the thing about this, alright, the fact that she was not only banned from the test screening rooms, she's not allowed to spectate the test screeners anymore, to see their reactions, to see how they actually react to the scenes, to the episodes. She thought that that was actually crucial to the creative process, so she's banned from that. She's not going to be spectating the last 2 test screenings, because before that, if you guys have been following us for a while, she actually lashed out toward the screeners after they expressed their deep criticism about the show. And that didn't go so nicely, because even the board had a talk with Meghan Markle about that and how she was very unprofessional. That's how unhinged she is behind closed doors. So that's typical Meghan Markle. She always puts up this front like she's this all, innocent, nice person on screen or in the public, and we all know it's inauthentic, very fake, very phony, and you can see right through it. You can always see through people just like this, right? It's just so easy to tell. But again, like I say, I mean, Netflix as a whole, they are going to lose subscribers without a doubt. It's going to lead to a lot of unsubscribers. It already is, by the way. We went over those metrics. Where we stand right now, it's around 55,000 emails were sent to Netflix complaining not just about Meghan Markle's show, but also about the rate increase and the lack of creative content getting put on Netflix and favorite content getting removed. But overall, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about all of this below in the comments, everything ranging between Netflix, Meghan Markle, Greg Peters, etc. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.